Welcome back. Well, today the Coalition's had their party room meeting and Labor's had its caucus. Joining us now to discuss it is Political Editor Andrew Clennell. Andrew, thank you for your time.
Hi, Annalise.
Now, what have we heard so far? I've heard Liberal party room meeting. We had a lot of discussion around coronavirus.
A lot of discussion around coronavirus. Josh Frydenberg said, we don't know where this is going to go. He had that warning for MPs. He spoke about how it was starting to affect the supply chain and, for example, people were trying to import building products and they weren't able to at the moment. He's just been to Riyadh for a G20 finance ministers meeting. Big concern across the world. He was reporting in. He said we're well positioned in terms of where the economy's at, where the budget's at, etc., considering, but warning that it was a tough time ahead. A few MPs stood up and gave anecdotal evidence of how they could see the issue in their electorate. George Christensen and I think Angie Bell in Queensland. So George Christensen saying tourism was really taking a massive hit. I think Greg Hunt spoke to the fact that there was a vitamins manufacturer who couldn't get their product into China. So really starting to see the effects now of the virus. The other big thing, Annalise, was Erica Betts had a go at one of the Royal Commissioners for the Bushfires Royal Commission that Scott Morrison has announced. The Tasmanian Senator objected to this gentleman, Andrew McIntosh, being appointed one of the three commissioners, saying he used to be the Deputy Director of the Climate Change Institute. And I think the comment he made was, would the Labor Party, if they announced the Royal Commission, have a director of the IPA there? He said that Mr McIntosh had something to say about Tasmanian forestry in the past. The Prime Minister responded to this. According to my sources, he said that essentially it wasn't a political inquiry and that he needed to ensure that it was a fairly sort of objective inquiry, and that's what he was looking to do.
There you go. And on the Labor side of things, it seems like it's all a bit quiet.
It was pretty quiet. Anthony Albanese didn't have any ructions at all over the net zero emissions policy. In his speech, he made a point of thanking both Mark Butler on one side of the argument and Joel Fitzgibbon on the other in terms of helping get the policy together, which was obviously very deliberate. Claire O'Neill asked how they were going to get to a pathway to meet that target, and Albanese said that would come in due course and some work would be done on that. But I thought it could be a bit more fiery. Pretty quiet caucus today from the account I've heard.
There you go. And for the government, this is going to be a real issue with coronavirus. Even as they were in the room, we saw the huge impact on the ASX. Where do you think that conversation is going to go to from here?
Well, when the Treasurer says he doesn't know, I guess that's the answer, and that's the really concerning thing. I mean, we might not even see it this financial year, but next financial year we could really see the impact of it, because if it is starting to affect the supply chain, imports and exports, everything. I mean, I think it was mentioned in the party room that we're not the only country where China's the biggest trading partner. There are 43 countries in that situation, so big problems ahead for the world economy.
Absolutely. Andrew Clennell, thank you for your time.
Thanks.